Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. So excited to have you here. I'm Dr. Vidya, your host. Welcome. So before we go on, because we are also streaming this live in our for our YouTube community, you're most welcome to join us there as well, and also in our Facebook group, which you're always welcome to join. That's called Wealthy Warrior Leaders. So just double checking that this is streaming live. Okay, perfect. And I'm just checking that in the group. It is also going live to serve our beautiful community there completely for free. So do come join us there. Yes, it's perfect. So I'm just going to keep those on. So don't mind me if I'm looking down from time to time. I'm just double checking. That's us there for any questions that people may have. Okay. So if you are watching this in the Facebook group, or if you're watching this on YouTube, then please do post your questions there as well. But also, obviously, if you're here joining us on the live webinar here on StreamYard, then you have access to put your questions here, which I will be seeing first. So that's the beauty about registering for the webinar, because I can look so many places. So I'll see your questions here first, then I'll go to our Facebook group, our community there, and then I'll be heading over to YouTube afterwards, just so I'm not looking in too many different places. So welcome. This webinar is on Unlock Your Potential as a Warrior Entrepreneur. So that is our movement, Wealthy Warrior Entrepreneurs. Okay. Now, I'm super excited to have you join here. I hope you don't mind looking down now and again. I've got my notes here just so that I can really serve you. I've taken all the questions that you've all put on when you register for the webinar. You can put all the things you want me to help you with in mental health, in leadership, and in your business, okay? Particularly online businesses. And also if you have a physical business and you want to build in some online training and really add in that online element, which I think everyone needs to have. So now, before we embark on this beautiful journey together, I want to ensure that you have all got access to, now you'll be having the free PDF version of my book. Okay, so I am Dr. Vidya. By the way, if you haven't met me before, I'm a #1 best-selling author. I'm also a practicing medical doctor, and also mum and wife to 2 or 3 cheeky boys and husband. So that's my book. Okay, this is the 21-day guide on how to transform your mind. Yeah, I'm very passionate about mental health. I used to be the regional mental health director, but decided to set up my own company just to really take this global. Okay, so you don't have to see me as a doctor in one of the richest countries in the world, based in London. You can have access to me on YouTube and Facebook with my books, and obviously, if you want to work together, then in my membership programs and exclusive mastermind. So, mental health, your body, all about holistic healing, and how to nourish our mind and our soul, and how to transform your life. So that's more around peak performance. Particularly if you're here, then that means that you are a high achiever, you are a peak performer, you are a leader. We are all self-leaders, okay? So if you are a mum at home, or a parent at home, or a carer, you are still a leader, right? You are an incredible leader. You are self-leading, and you're leading others in your family or your loved ones, or whatever you want to call your unit of loved ones. But we are all leaders. But this is also for you if you really want to build this out into a phenomenal global community, right? So our community, I'm really grateful and so proud to say that we have now reached 58 countries and over 133 clients across all of our different ways of serving. So I want the same for you. I want to take this to the next level as right. So come along with me on this journey. Now, what are we going to cover today? So we are going to be covering 4 main pillars of my heart method. Number 1 is healing. All right. Now, why healing? Because when you're embarking on a journey, you need to first have the belief that actually you deserve this journey, that it is for you. You also can only take on, you've got to imagine we are going on a first class private jet, okay? And there is only a certain amount of luggage that you're going to take on board, that you're choosing to take on board, that is you're allowing to come on board this journey with you, okay? So we need to drop the emotional baggage, physical baggage, equally there may be certain people that we send love and light and peace to, but they may not be a part of this journey going forward, because we've recognized the need to evolve and to just, move forward, drop old stories. It may be time to drop old paradigms. Okay, so we're going to go into healing. This is also talking about the basic foundations of your business. Okay. Now, number 2 is going to be all about empowerment and emotional regulation. This is really cultivating a mindset of resilience and determination. So, yes, it's peak performance, but before that, you need the empowerment piece. You need emotional regulation, because as a leader, you're going to, if not already, come across incredible personal challenges in the organization, challenges, maybe technical challenges, all sorts. Okay, and it is up to you as a leader internally first to emotionally regulate that. Okay, any anxiety, anger, however it kind of manifests for you. If you're kind of the kind of person who has lots of temper tantrums, I say this with love and light, but I'm talking to myself too. Or if you maybe go more into like anxiety mode, or scarcity mode, or it's all like falling apart and why me? No, we need to learn to regulate that, to do it quickly, to not suppress our emotions. Okay, none of that works. And I'm also private GP for, let's just say, leaders in top Fortune 500 companies. Obviously, can't mention any names, but this is what we do. Okay, so we do this on a weekly basis. We're really regulating our emotions so that you can go out there and lead your organization, okay, from the ground up, within yourself, from the ground up, right, from the root chakra. I'm all about chakra and emotional healing. Okay, I'm a holistic practitioner as well as a GP, so I'm a general practitioner, but from the root chakra up to the crown chakra. Crown chakra is leadership, but it starts from the root, which is your foundation of self, right? So number 3 is awakening, your spiritual awakening, or however you want to call it. Maybe you literally call it a wake-up call because something's happened, but this is consciousness shifting. All right, this is you feeling as a leader that things need to change. It's maybe no longer representative of your values. Your values have changed. You're gaining more clarity over your vision and your mission, and you really want to align with that more. So this is conscious leadership. Okay, and by doing that, this is why I'm so keen to work with leaders, right? And remember, we're all leaders, but because you have made a conscious decision to self-lead. Okay, you have made a conscious decision to take things to the next level, to go all out. And yes, there's a peak performance element that obviously goes with that. We have to take action, but there is an alignment alongside that action piece. We have to be aligned with our vision. We then need to have that attitude, and I'm not just talking about having a good attitude. I need a whole quantum leap level of that, right? Which is coming from within, an attitude of gratitude. Yes, but equally, this is really, really taking the results, not just in terms of KPIs, but what does this mean globally, right? And this all starts with you. Now, if you're just starting an online business, and that's why you're here, that is an incredible way to serve society, because you have a global audience. You can really go all out with your message. And as you grow, heal, grow, and evolve, you're taking people along your journey. Okay. And you only need to be one step ahead. That is it. Okay. And you might have achieved that step in a week, in a couple of months, in a couple of years. So it's not just about the end result. This is really about the journey. All right. And then number 4 is rise and thrive. Okay, so that's my heart system, healing, empowerment, and emotional regulation, awakening, rise and thrive. Now, rise and thrive really is thriving as a wealthy warrior leader, and really taking that to the next level, whatever that means for you. Really scaling things up in action, yes, but really scaling things up in our vision, right? So that we really want to do this in a way which is all about balance, right? This is what I talk about in my book. That's why I talk about the mind as well as your body. Okay, we need both. And in the book, I go through all different ways that you can, there's even recipes in here, there's meditation, there's exercises, mental health exercises, affirmations, there's a journal right at the back here. So everything is in there. And I mean, really, I should have changed it. It's not really a guide, but it's a good way to kind of get going. But for me, I still use this. You can see it looks pretty dogged. I still use this for myself, right? So, by the way, if you don't have a copy of this, so you'll get the free PDF version. Okay, you can buy the physical version off Amazon. It's $11.11, so $11.11 because I'm into my angel numbers. But if you don't have this, Star says, yes, that's right, we're in the right place. So if you don't have this, you just need to register, or you can just DM me your email address. Okay, so this is for people on my email list, so all who have registered for the webinars and challenges that we do. Okay, let's get back to it. So this is really about thriving as a wealthy warrior leader. Okay, now let me just take a moment to talk about wealthy warrior leader. Okay, the wealth within this is, like, I come from a Hindu background, okay, and everybody's welcome here, right? But wealth, we have a goddess called Lakshmi. She's a goddess of wealth. But wealth, what I learned through that is there are so many different forms of wealth. There's obviously money. There is wealth in, let's say, beauty, okay? There is the beauty of life, physical beauty. There is wealth in your mind, okay? You're most welcome, Star, said you Southern Light. She says thank you. Wealth in your mind, right, which is peace of mind, emotional freedom. I mean, that is the biggest gift. That is the biggest gift. And that's what I am endeavoring to do through my organization, through my business. Peace of mind, okay? Whatever that means for you. Wealth is financial freedom. Wealth is physical freedom, right? So I have a lot of colleagues who are doctors who are really struggling in terms of they've reached the pinnacle of their career, but they're in a system, and this isn't me trying to go on about system issues. This isn't the place for that. So I just sort out my hair here. Apologies. It's just going to annoy me. I'm going to concentrate on you. So this is really about how they now are, well, if I want to move and practice in another country, I have to sit certain exams, I have to work in a certain way, or is this allowed, etc. So all of these things, so important, because then you're trapped. You can only work in one way, right? This is why I'm a huge advocate. This is why I'm a huge advocate of online, because suddenly you have this is my audience, this is global, right? And I'm in my beautiful home, and I'm ready to pick up my kids, right, at 3:00. I'm ready to, it's serving my definition of success. Actually, I want you to write that down. Okay, please make sure you make plenty of notes in this. Okay, can you see I'm trying to talk not too fast, but there's so much I really want to serve. I'm trying to get as much as I can before we finish, 1:00. So write this down. Please make notes. Okay, make notes. And then remember, this is not just about watching this webinar. This is not just about making lots of notes. This is about implementation. Okay, so as you are listening to me, I'm sure, just like I have been, your crown chakra, which is all about, and your third eye chakra, which is all about your intuition, right? You will get downloads. You will get, I want to do this idea. I want to do this. This is called a download. This is you activating your intuition, or you'll call it your gut instinct. This is your crown chakra. Write it down and then circle it so you know this is what I want to take action on. And this other bit of writing here is a nice quote, or it's just some, understanding about how a certain system works. If you're having ideas about something, this is why, like, look, I've got this, I've got my kids, crayon thing, and I've got my highlighters. So I'm always making notes, and when I'm watching my webinars too, making notes, and then I'm always highlighting or drawing a circle, so I know, right, this is what I want to take action on, and I'll know, because I'll want to make sure I take action. Please take action. This is the age of implementation, okay, and knowledge, right? We have AI now, okay, as well, which is great. I love AI. It's all about how you perceive something and how you want to use it, so you can use it for good. That's what I'm doing. I'm using it to elevate my mission and take it all out there, right? So in the same way, you've got to implement now, okay? Implementation, take action, and do it also in a balanced way. All right. So this is why I'm also a meditation teacher as well. So the wealth within that is financial freedom, emotional freedom, and physical freedom. And for me, that is the most amazing wealth. And that is the wealthy part of the wealthy warrior leader. In the past, I have been a leader in terms of had my own GP practice. I've had my physical, brick and mortar business. I've been a regional mental health director. I've been on the board for Royal College and general practitioners. So all these incredible opportunities, incredible things. I'm an award-winning doctor and coach. I don't mean that with ego. I just mean that in terms of there's more to go, right? I'm always looking for the next level, but I have got to that, top level, which I'm really grateful for. I'm grateful to my parents for providing me incredible opportunities. However, there were times that even though I was a leader, right, award-winning leader, award-winning doctor, I was still in my practice till 10 o'clock at night, doing prescriptions, doing blood, checking blood results and patients' notes. And, this patient's come up, oh my gosh, I think we need to get them checked. And I'm worried about them, having certain conditions, worrying conditions. They need to have blood tests tomorrow, making calls really late. Like, I'm so sorry, I know this is really late, but and it's all very good serving the public health system as well, the NHS. So loved serving that way. But when you then just got married and you're coming home really late. I actually even once had a really, really nasty car accident coming home late. Obviously I was tired, but thankfully it wasn't actually my fault. It was another driver and they were charged by the police. But so although it wasn't my fault, still made me really reflect on, gosh, why was I coming home, like leaving my practice at 10 o'clock? And this whole paradigm around being a hardworking doctor or hardworking lawyer or entrepreneur or whatever you are, like, yes, it takes action, but really, how much is this paradigm serving us of being a hardworking, banker or lawyer or doctor or entrepreneur or even mom, carer? Like, we need balance. Otherwise, we can only serve those people we're serving, right? Our family, our loved ones, our patients, our clients, our whoever we're serving. We can only serve them if we are balanced within ourselves. Right, we can only take consistent daily action in our business, in our organization, if we are balanced. Otherwise, yes, you're going to get burnout. I'm also an appraiser for other doctors, right? So I appraise them every year and tell the GMC if it's safe for them to carry on practicing. And in that appraisal, there is so much burnout, right? So much burnout that we talk about. And I'm always saying, in the PDP, personal development plan, for me, one of them, it has to be well-being. I don't want you to be going and uploading 10,000 certificates and you're doing this diploma, that diploma. Do it. That's awesome. But one of them has to be balance. Like, you have to meditate once a day or 3 times a day if you're already doing it, or do yoga, or make sure you're exercising 3-4 times a week. And I want an actual plan. Like, what are you going to be doing? What app? What time of day? And I'm holding you accountable to you. Like, I'm not going to do anything if you don't achieve it. It doesn't affect me. But I want you to take this seriously. Right, this is your life, and health does come first. You're not going to be going out and doing this incredible, leading on a global scale and enjoying your family. And if your health you are the captain of your ship, okay? And you need to ensure that when you are the captain of your ship, that you are full of energy, full of vitality. You've nourished your soul through prayer, through meditation, whatever your way is. Through meditation, you are aligned with your vision, with your goals, so that you're excited, right? You're excited. You feel so good. Like, I hope that you can feel my passion, because if you scroll through my social media and YouTube, you'll see I've been doing this for like a long time. I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm not just someone that's just started. I've been doing this for 5 years, 5 years or more. I was doing it before, but then came online 5 years ago. So you need energy to do that. Not just physical energy, you need spiritual energy, right? Have you nourished your body with like green smoothie and water and, just so that you're really feeling full of energy to serve? And then you put that behind your presentations, behind your work, behind your consultations or sales calls or your posts or however you're serving, right? That is the energy that people feel behind your words, behind the words, even when you're writing. When I wrote this book, most of the time this book was written on the notes section of my mobile. Okay, whilst I was breastfeeding in this arm, I wrote on my maternity leave, the first maternity leave. I've got two little boys, age 6 and 4. They're currently in school, so I was breastfeeding this arm, and the other arm I was just like, because it would just go on for hours. Right? So I don't know if you breastfeed, it just goes on, or feeding, bottle feeding, however you fed is fine. I'm not the breastfeeding police, don't worry. But just, it would go on for hours and hours. Like, it's like 1 a.m, it's like 2 a.m, and it would just go on forever. So I was like really enjoying it, yes, but I really wanted to. I was feeling so good, and I wanted to capture that And I really wrote this book for me. Like, what am I doing? Because I feel great, even though I'm so, physically tired from the little one. But there's other things I'm doing. And I captured it for myself, and then people asked for it, and I turned it into a book. And this actually became the basis of my service. This is why I became then a coach, because like, okay, how do I get this out to the world? I was literally looking up. I was like, oh, okay, a coach. So basically, this actually forms the basis of the modules in my exclusive mastermind, right? My exclusive 25K mastermind, annual mastermind. This forms the basis of it. Obviously with like personalized, one-to-one mentoring and group coaching, exclusive mastermind, but it forms the basis of your service. Okay, so what I want us to do now is I want to go a bit deeper. Okay, so number one is building of a successful business and healing. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to really write down for yourself, just take a minute. Why am I here? Like, first of all, here on this webinar, what brought you here? Okay, and you can feel free to put this in the chat. So I wasn't looking here right then. Let me just double check here. So write it down as well. Put it in the chat if you want to share. Or if not, just write it in your own notes. But why am I here? What brought me to this webinar? What specific things that I really want to learn? Okay, so just to give you some examples, some things that some other people had mentioned when they were registering the webinar, because you can write it down. I'm not going to mention names, but some people had mentioned they want to learn how to attract clients, how to run their business, financial abundance, get me to act out of my comfort zone every single day. All right, so we're definitely going to be covering all of that. Okay, but write down what brought you here, and then why am I here? Yes, on a spiritual level, on a philosophical level. So in your service, maybe the current way you're serving, or the way in which you would love to serve, why do you think you're here? What have you been through in the last maybe couple of years, couple of months, couple of decades, whatever it is? There's been, if you're here, then like me, there's some journey you've been on, some pain, some real challenge, real difficulty. Maybe that's just not even much of a word for it, but some huge thunderstorm that you've been through, but you have grown through it. You're here, and you're now looking to show people the principles of the milestones of that journey you've grown through. I notice I didn't say going through, grown through. You've grown, right? You were Phoenix rising, and now you're the Phoenix risen. Okay, or through this, you will be the Phoenix risen. Okay, and then you're then serving from that point, that leadership. Now looking back to help others, not looking down. We're not, higher than others, but yeah, we're higher than others. Maybe in terms of intuition, maybe in terms of clarity, maybe in terms of really seeing what the journey this person is on that you're serving and how you can help them, right? Because sometimes at the beginning of the journey you can't see, right? You can't see the whole path because the path is so twisty and windy, and they're on a bend and they can't actually see. There's like some huge obstacle in front of them, and you're there to tell them, no, don't worry, like just literally around the corner, you're there. But you're walking alongside them on their journey. Okay, so that is the beauty of leadership. So you're not just in this ivory tower, you are there with them, but you also have that ivory tower vision to see as much as possible. And that will constantly, as you ascend higher in your consciousness, right? So it's about conscious leadership. You will also be able to see more. You will be able to aim higher, right? You will have more belief in what you're doing. So write that down. So thank you so much for sharing, Willow Adams. So the warrior title drew me in. Oh, beautiful. I'm so glad you said that, because warrior for me is something very close to my heart. When I was growing through my own challenge, so I'll tell you my own challenge. So what got me to write this book? Okay, so first of all, there's a couple of things. First of all, I had that car accident. I was a GP partner. Really successful, award-winning practice, and one of the top, in our area, regional mental health director, all of these things. And coming home, it's 10 o'clock at night, so I was really tired, and this car, it's actually Uber driver, nothing against Uber, but I was turning right, turning left. I definitely looked properly, and the car just literally hit mine as I was making a turn into a main road, and my car went down the road twisting round and round for 80 feet. I think it was 80 feet, yeah. And it just missed a lamppost literally by a centimetre. So if I had, I don't know what would have happened, but the car was about to go on fire. So there was smoke, there was diesel everywhere. Thankfully, myself and the driver were completely fine. And I remember my foot was stuck under the pedal and there was smoke coming from my bonnet. I was like, I need to get out of here now. And I took my cars out of the ignition. Thank you. Die Hard, that's where I learned that from, as well as my training as a doctor, but really from Die Hard. Took my key out the ignition, and I just, so grateful, I just crawled out the car, right? So I crawled out the car and checked the other driver was okay. He thankfully also came to check I was okay, and police came, ambulance came, fire engine came. It was pretty epic, and thankfully was completely fine. So grateful that, because had it been a year later, I would have been pregnant with my little one, so that would have been really tricky. The car literally went into my side, so my door was completely crushed. So I couldn't just open it. I had to crawl out through the back, like climb over, crawl out, and the car was completely gone, completely written off. So I had to see the car, and the car door, like, it completely just went into me, but thankfully it just it saved my life. So after that, I took some time off work. Obviously, I was going to go back into work the next day, but I was like, well, they're broken bones, let's just keep going. And my doctor, who was seeing me, was just like, no, you crazy woman, you need to stay at home for a couple of weeks and just rest. I was like, okay, but who's going to run the surgery, right? Because my sister, I was working with my sister at the time, as she's also GP partner. She was on maternity leave. My dad was there too, but he as a GP. But there's only so much, they can do. So that made me really think about, gosh, like, I was there already till 10 o'clock every day, serving supposedly as a hardworking doctor. I mean, I was a hardworking doctor, but really, it just takes. I just wanted to rest after quite an epic accident, but then who's going to run the surgery, or who's going to run your business? Or I'm a GP now for top leaders, and often they're like, oh, well, I'm just like, why can't you just take a day off, just to rest? Like, I can't. Who's going to do this? So then that is not a sustainable organization or a sustainable way in which to work, or even as a leader in your family, as a parent. It's not a sustainable way to run your household. And I appreciate that that's not everyone has that luxury to get home help, but there needs to be some sort of system that you can put in place, for the family, some system you can build into your family, into your organization, as a leader, so that it enables you to take your rest. As a captain of the ship, as a pilot of a plane, do you not want them to be well rested? Of course you do, right? Because only then you're going to get to your journey, your destination, and enjoy it along the way. All right. So I had that, and then thankfully that was fine. But I really got into mental health then, because I was really like, I'm going to make sure that I'm not I don't want to go into victim mindset. So I meditated every day, and I really learned so much about meditation then. The second thing was on maternity, when I had my first little one. I remember I was in labour for a week. Yes, a whole week I was in labour, sitting in my birth pool at home. And then went in, and then there was some complications at birth. And so my little one was, was on the resuscitator, receiving oxygen, and it's all very, I just had epidural, so I couldn't exactly move from my bed. And then he was in, sorry, this is triggering. He was in special care baby unit for just a couple of days actually, and I learned a lot of resilience through him, because he was having lumbar punctures and blood tests, several times a day. And, I'm so grateful. Like, he was fine, but it's because I really had gone on my own spiritual awakening of really going within and meditating and belief in myself and faith. And I really feel that I drew on that. And then therefore he did, because, he was like, well, she's fine, so therefore I am. That's how I see it. And sorry to make that sound so simplistic, but that is honestly how it felt, of like, well, I've just decided this has got to somehow work out okay. And so on that mat leave, they found like in that birth, he had presumed group hip sepsis basically, and it was all fine. Within a week we were home. It was quite an epic week. But I then realized that, wow, it really is just about your faith. And I don't just mean that from a religious point of view, like you can believe in anything you want, but just having that faith in yourself that this has to somehow work out okay. And equally, there's a reason this is working out okay. So I'm going to make damn sure that I'm fulfilling that. Okay. So because it was sepsis, they said to us, look, stay at home for 3-4 months. This is 2017, pre-COVID. Stay at home for 3-4 months because it might happen again. Basically, in the winter, if it gets a cold, we don't know, it might happen again. So it's like, okay, cancel all those baby groups. So literally, it was just me and him at home. Obviously, we're very careful about having other members coming, our amazing family, who are so happy to help us, which I'm really grateful for. But they were a bit scared of coming because obviously they were like, oh, we don't want to give any germs. So they gave so much help. Nonetheless, had so much help, which I'm really grateful for. But it was pretty much me and him. And my husband was working really, really hard for the family. So it was really long days, long nights, not really having as much social interaction, especially those first 4 months. So in that time, I was like, right, I really need to look after my mental health, and I'm completely shattered, and I can't drink coffee because I'm breastfeeding. And I developed these habits, which is everything in this book, every single thing that's I wrote this on that maternity leave. Again, in that maternity leave, I got in the best mental health I'd ever been in, the best physical shape. Like, it's not about numbers on the scale, but I was much bigger when I was younger, and I was like, wow, how did I do this? So the best shape, and the best in terms of my spirituality, like my connection with God, and my leadership in terms of myself, of like what I want to do. So I was like, it's all about mental health. I didn't know what to call it at the time. I didn't know about life coaching. So I did an interview, and I became the regional mental health director on that maternity leave. So that was like the background, and then that evolved into wealthy warrior. So that was my archetype the whole time. I was in NICU. I was in that cubicle by myself because my husband was obviously going to visit our baby in NICU. So I was like in a high dependency ward in NICU. I remember just thinking of warrior, right? That was the archetype that I had in my head. Like, I am a warrior. I'm a warrior mama, and I can do this, and I'm divinely protected. I'm divinely guarded and guided, and I am doing this. I don't know how, but I'm doing this. Okay. And that is where the warrior comes from. So wealthy warrior. And then there's the actions. Okay. So the peak performance action pieces that you need to take. Then that's in a way the easy bit, because once you have the wealth consciousness, right, that I believe that this is possible. And number 2, warrior, I believe it is possible for me, and I'm strong, and I'm perfectly capable. I'm not going to repress my emotions, and sometimes I might have some snotty, ugly cry, and I'm doing that to release this from my system with my daily habits. Okay, daily habits of a wealthy warrior leader. Literally, it's all in here. I'm giving it to you for free. And as a leader, I'm a leader. Whatever you do, you are a leader. Okay, so that is what I call it, wealthy warrior leader, because you first start with self-leading, and then you take that, you turn that pain, and you make that your superpower. Okay, but you need healing. So you have pain, and you have then it becomes your personal power, and the bridge between the two is healing. Okay, and this isn't healing that has to just go on and on forever. Okay, but this is something that you can constantly do along this journey. There's different levels of consciousness, right? As you're rising up as a phoenix, and every level has, my heart system has the healing, the empowerment, emotional regulation, the awakening. They're like, oh my gosh, yes, I can definitely do this. And there's more things I can do in my business, right? There's awakening to another level. Then it's the rise and thrive, the leadership piece. And then it's the peak performance, which is a thread that runs woven throughout that, to take action at every single point, right? Then you go to the next level. Then you're like, oh, I want to go bigger. I want to do more. I want to reach more people. Okay. So, and that is how we've got our movement, to so far 58 countries and so far 133 clients. So let's go back to Star's beautiful comment here. So let me see if I can show you this. Yes. So warrior title drew me in. I already feel that I Have been one. Yes, you are. So I want to put myself first in everything and show others the way. Absolutely. You are the captain of your ship. You are the pilot of your plane. Okay. So you, just like when we're on a plane, we want to make damn sure, right, that that pilot is like well fed, has meditated, has had good sleep. And that might not always be the 8 hours. Okay. Like I'm just saying that as a mother, that I mean, always get my 8 hours because otherwise I get nothing done. But you want enough rest and rejuvenation. Okay, so some days for me, for example, I'm just giving you a practical point here. Sometimes that might be lots of sleep, and sometimes that might be quite a lot of sleep, and the rest is mainly meditation, right? Do you see what I mean? And that might be like a 2 minute meditation that you do a couple of times, a couple of times a day. So always put yourself first. I want to put myself first in everything, yes, and show others the way. Exactly. You are describing this now. Yes, good. To get paid for my services all the time. Absolutely. And the beauty is that when you show up for yourself, you're actually leading others. You're showing, you're literally giving people an example of what it looks like to show up for yourself. Okay, like before this webinar last night, I was like, I want to get a good sleep. And I had both my boys next to me, cuddling me up, cuddling, which was really cute. So I know bedtime training's gone out the window. But yeah, cuddling me, and we're reading our books. And, I was like, I want to be well rested because I want to serve and I prayed before this and I had my little webinar, notes, and I prayed to God and this is my way, you do your way, but like, please show me, speak through me, what is the best way you want me to serve? And people have questions that maybe they've not really told me because they're a bit shy and they go to watch this, maybe they watch the replay, on YouTube or whenever, and show, let's really serve, let's really help people with their mental health, their leadership, and with entrepreneurship. Let's help people with this. And, so for me, this is, yes, you will then attract those people. Okay, you will attract them. So it is manifestation. Yes, you are attracting them because they're drawn in. Equally, you're also repelling. Okay, so I have so many people when I'm inviting them into my group who are sort of like, no, I don't want warrior. I hate warrior. I don't like it. I don't want your invitation. Okay, that's fine. Okay, you've disqualified yourself because I only want people who have an open mind in my community, and I send love and light. But if that's just very basic level. So if that is not there, then there's no point offering this, even if they weren't somehow in my exclusive 25K mastermind, they're not ready to learn. Okay, so one, there's that, and two, people learn in different ways, right? It's just like music. People have different genres. It's not personal to me. I don't get offended. It's not personal to me. It's just people just like, well, I love this message, but I want it to be delivered, packaged in a different way. Their archetype might be more in terms of, a predominance more on the divine feminine. So for me, it's divine masculine and feminine. The divine feminine is the wealth, right? The divine masculine is the warrior. Okay, and then the leadership is self-leadership, and that's the balance between the two. You need both. And this is not about gender. Okay, so actually my community is for all. Okay, whatever gender you identify yourself with, or fluidity and gender, like everything. Because I think there's just too much discrimination and the world's had enough of that. So it's for everybody. It's for anybody who identifies with these characteristics. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on character of a person, not what you look like. Okay, I don't judge a book by its cover. So I'm focusing on the characteristics. I want people who are coming in with a beginner's mind of like, I'm not saying you're a beginner, but as in an open mind. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to learn from you. Okay, I'm not saying I know it all. I know I'm leading this movement, but I'm not saying I know it all. But I'm just saying, I'm just presenting, this is my journey so far. This is where I want to go, right? Based upon my level of awareness right now. And come along with me on my journey, right? And if you want to learn alongside me, there's different levels of access. Like there's free, like this. And then there's like the membership, and then there's group, and there's one-to-one, and etc. So there's different levels of service, okay? And this is how you get paid for your services, because people feel that. They feel that genuine energy of you wanting to serve. This also is the law of compensation. The law of compensation is that you are irreplaceable. But that irreplaceability is a belief that must be in your mind. It is not necessarily that you have every qualification under the sun, and that this person has this qualification, so therefore I need to do that too. You can do it if you feel that as you are honing your craft as a leader. So every day I'm waking up early and I study. I study my craft. I study my craft as a doctor. I study my craft as a healer and as a leader. Okay. And sometimes those studies might be more business orientated majority of the time, because obviously I'm a business coach. So I'll be really studying that, and I might be really going really deep in learning about funnels. Okay. But that is then enabling me to get my service out there into the world. Maybe sometimes I'm going really deep in hypnotherapy because I think, oh, this is amazing. I really want to bring this to my next session, my next group coaching session. And we do hypnotherapy and we do meditation like every session, every week, because I see the power of that. I'm like, oh, I really want to master this and learn this. And this is a great way to serve my clients. Right. And another time I might be learning more about leadership. Like, okay, so what is it that there's something missing here that I need to learn. Right. So you're really studying, but then your implementation. Okay. So learning, I would say learning to implementation ratio is like 70-30 or 80-20. Like majority of the time is actual implementation and this much on learning, but you're learning every day. Yeah, you're implementing every single day. I wouldn't just do learning all day, one day, and then not much implementation, because people also aren't being served. Right? Like this book isn't perfect. There's so much more. This was written in 2018. Sorry, it was written in 2017 and I published it. And then, so there's so much more I've learned since then. Like I've got other books coming out, by the way, and they'll be more updated. But this is the foundation. If I'd waited for it to be perfect, then people those 100, how many people who have got the book, there's no way they're benefiting from it now. So don't wait to get your services out there. Don't wait to sell. Don't wait to put yourself out there. So I'm not saying that you are, but you really want to take this, to the next level. So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, what I want us to move on to is the empowerment piece. So with the healing, I hope you've written down what's brought you here and any pains, challenges, anything in the last, like today, in the last 1 week, month, quarter, year. I want you to write it all down. Okay, write it all down, just the main like bullet points or whatever you want to write. If you want, you can do this as an exercise after we finish. Play some music. You can spend a whole evening on it. You can light a candle. You can, if you use rituals or things like that, you can kind of incorporate it into that. Or you can just, as I do, I'll play, especially for healing, heart chakra. I find it's really good for this. So heart chakra or root chakra music, you can go onto YouTube and you can just type in 10-minute heart chakra, root chakra music. And you can also listen to my root chakra affirmations if you want on my YouTube channel. Just type in root chakra and Dr. Vidya. And then you can listen to that as well. But then just write it out again and let the tears come, let all of it out. Anything that's given you pain, anger, suffering, fear, that you're just done with, you're feeling some sort of oppression for somebody or some organization or whatever it is, or frustration or scared, you're scared, you're anxious about something, you're worried, whatever, write it down. Okay, it's so important. That's what expressing yourself means. You needed to exit it from your system. So that's what I learned from my mentor, Bob Proctor, actually. So I used to be a Bob Proctor coach. R.I.P. my friend. So that's what he taught me. You need to express it from your body. It actually means it's exiting from your mind. And that's why it doesn't manifest as all these physical symptoms that I see in my patients. Okay, every single one pretty much is stressed. And it's coming as a physical symptom. So yes, you need to see the relevant professional for that, but really only you can do the healing work on yourself, the deep healing work, the inner work. So write that down. And then the opposite, I want you to write out, what is the opposite of that? What does that look like? Let me write it out. A day in the life of myself, living that life with the opposite of this and what I really want. Play some music, make this as your life movie, I call this, okay? And really write it out in detail. And that forms the basis of a visualization meditation, which I'd love for you to do. Imagining you can see that as like a mini life movie for 30 seconds and just do that every day, often. So law of compensation. Okay, so this is what I want to move into now. We've now healed. Okay, so this is taking the healing means you're expressing it from yourself. And by focusing on your wants, what you really want, that is part of the healing. Okay, now obviously I can only do so much in this webinar, but I want you to, this is the start of that healing process, because you're actually starting to focus on something which can directly change the situation that you're in. But by having this warrior archetype of strength and courage and determination, that is what's going to enable you to then do what I'm going to go into now, which is your daily method of operation. So any peak performer needs to have a daily method of operation. This is literally six yeah, I can count 6 things, okay, that you, no more than 6, but 6 things that you will do on a daily basis. Okay, now obviously when we're talking about balance, we need to also incorporate exercise and honing our craft, reading, which I talked about. You can do those at the same time, like whilst you're exercising. Whilst I exercise, I listen to like Russell Brunson or Bob Proctor, or a medical lecture, or whatever I'm feeling I'm needing to take something to the next level. And then meditation I strongly recommend as well. But really 6 things in your business or in your organization or in your leadership that you're going to do every single day, like the main principles. And then on a daily basis, I want you to take a sheet and then write the 6 things out on a more detailed level. Like, let's say of those 6 things, okay, I would strongly recommend that for your business, you really focus on taking your offer. So, we talked about the offer already, right? So that is the journey you've been on already. The milestones of that forms the modules of your course, right? Of your book, of your they can be the chapters in your book. They form the different segments of your membership, right? So that is you're taking them along a journey, right? In medicine, we say the patient journey. You're taking them along a journey. So what's the journey you've been on? What's the main principles? And then you really, iron that out. And that is your offer. If you have a product-based service, then you may have products that you offer them, but you're also taking them along a journey, because when they're on this part of the journey, then they need this other product that's going to help them, or this other service, or this other masterclass that they will need to accompany this, right? So you've seen it as I talked about it in this webinar, right? Like I'll talk about this webinar, it's a free event. And then I've also talked about other things, the book, okay, you get this for free when you register. Other people may then just buy it because they want to get the physical version. And then I've talked about my masterclasses, right, which can then accompany this if they want, or personal coaching, however they want it. So there's different things that can accompany them along their journey, right? But equally, there is a free point. Okay, this is called your value stack, which is from Russell Brunson, which is a free offering. So the free offering is what I would strongly recommend is you have ideally a weekly webinar or a monthly webinar or something which you offer for free, which is your free teaching. Okay, this is the law of compensation. The more you give, okay, as Gary Vee says, give, and then you ask, then you make an offer. Give. Okay, if you're doing a webinar like this, 2/3 of it, 4/5 of it, you are giving, you're teaching, and then 1/5 is the offer at the end. But you want to do something like a webinar or masterclass, whatever wording works for you, but something which is regular. I would recommend weekly, and then you do something else monthly. So for me, once a month, I will do a 5-day masterclass. Okay, so the next one coming up is going to be November the 6th to the 10th. So I do that over 5 days, and that's where we take what we talked about today, maybe a slightly different theme, or we take one aspect, like let's say we talk about warrior aspect, and we really go deep for those 5 days, and it's a challenge. And there's daily homework, and there's like VIP sessions, but we really go deep in that, okay? And then you have like a summit, which is something once a quarter. So I have seasonal summits, which I do. For me, it's a leadership summit, the Leadership Summit, Wealthy Warrior Leadership Summit, and you do that every quarter. And you go deep on that particular aspect. So that's obviously about leadership. And you really go deep on that, okay? And at each point, you are giving a call to action for a different level on your value ladder. So if you haven't heard of value ladder, you can just Google it after this, value ladder. So you have your free point, right? So for me, I've got the book, got my webinars, challenges, which are free, and then my summits are paid events. And then the next level is, you can have other different things as well, like, memberships, for example, where you are really then giving all of these teachings and like an archive, like a library. So for me, with my, I want to talk about mine at the end. Then the next level after that is, your coaching. So you have group coaching. Maybe do that on a weekly basis. That's what I do. So weekly basis or bi-weekly, however you want to do it. And then the next level will be an exclusive mastermind, and maybe after that, your one-to-one. I mean, there's different variations of this. You've got to see this as like a spectrum and a sliding scale in terms of price point, and also a sliding scale in terms of access to you, right? So maybe this level up here has pure one-to-one calls with you every single week, or Voxer one-to-one every week. That's what I do. And then this level here, they don't have any one-to-one, or maybe they have a one-to-one like once a quarter, right? Or something like that, or however you want to do it, whatever you feel aligned to. So this is coming back to the healing, because coming out of the healing from the pain is your personal power, and that's the flip side. Okay, there's the yin and yang. So you will also see what is the opposite. What is it that I wanted at that period of time, and then you give that. Okay, you give that. That is your offer. This is what I wanted 2 years ago, 3 years ago, last week, whatever. This is what I wanted. This is what I needed, and I want to now give that to. It's also healing for yourself, because you're actually, it's, in therapy we call it reparenting. So you're giving that back to yourself. This is inner child healing. You're giving that back to yourself, something that you were really craving, that you really wanted, that maybe you didn't even know you wanted at that time. You can give that to yourself. And the beauty with business and coaching or online coaching, or however you want to serve the world, but for me, entrepreneurship is why I love it, is because you can create an incredible service that you are aligned to, that you can really give, right? So you can go all out, and you're so aligned to it, because even if people don't know your story, they can feel the energy behind it. They can feel, hopefully you can feel the wealthy warrior leader that was born within me, that I'm constantly honing and crafting, and it's evolving, right? Like a little baby at the beginning, and then it's like growing and growing. Okay, so it was born at that time, even though I didn't really know what I was doing, right? But it was born at that time, and then you're having this spiritual awakening, which is why I felt called to write a book. For something that was on notes section on my phone, I made a book. Right, because I wanted to take action, because I was a little bit scared when all that was happening. Little one was in NICU, and I was like, what's happening? Like, I even took like not the whole, but I took a good 2-3 months off for maternity leave, and I just rested. I did meditation every day and exercise and made my food from scratch. And all of these things, had a real spiritual awakening. I was really unearthing all my emotions. Like, so I don't understand how this could have happened then, but I just know that because I did that, it then meant we had a relatively, it was relatively smooth, when it could have been different, otherwise. And everyone's on their own journey, and different things happen. But this is where you can turn that into meaning. You're finding meaning. Okay, so like Viktor Frankl's book, One Man's Search for Meaning, right? You're finding meaning in that situation, and you're turning that into your personal power. You're turning that into your offer of your service or your product. Even if you are a director, a CEO, CFO, whatever kind of leader in your organization that is not your company, you can still bring that meaning to your role. Okay, so yes, you might be the CFO, but you can bring that meaning into your role as to like, wow, I can really help take this company to the next level, so we can give back more, right? You can give back more through philanthropy, through more free services like this, through all these different incredible ways of serving. Okay, so we talked about the healing, we talked about emotional regulation, we talked about empowerment, rising as a phoenix, and how you are responsible for your life. And I mean that from a place of love and light and peace. But really, you need to forget about other people's opinions of you. The only opinion that matters is your own. And that is called self-image or self-concept. So all that really matters is not what I think about you or your spouse or your kids or even your clients. It's nice if they have nice things to say about you, but really it's about, what do you think about you? What do you really think about you? Again, that narrative being very loving, very healthy, and very empowering. And it might be a bit butt kicking sometimes, and that's good because it's coming from it's a loving butt kick. And so that's super important too. Okay, so I really want to I want you guys to take action. So I want to go back to our daily method of operation. Okay, so for me, so it's kind of like daily method of operation, then there'll be weekly method of operation, and then there'll be like monthly or quarterly, and you determine the frequency. So the frequency is like a sliding scale. Okay, imagine it's like a volume knob, and you can determine the frequency, but you're something you're giving for free. And I would suggest this in this kind of lecture format, like a webinar or masterclass or the wording bootcamp, workshop, whatever you want to call it. But it is something you offer frequently, and it is basically free teaching. It's a free offering, and you're really going talking about your service. Okay, and I think that's really important. But you're really giving a lot of teaching. So that's number one. Number two, I would strongly recommend social media. I know some people don't like it, so I have a lot of people on my email list, and some of them will never see me on social media, but they'll see everything because they're on my email list. They'll have this emailed out to them, right? They'll want to watch it on YouTube or anywhere else. They'll want to watch it on the email list, and that's totally fine. Okay, and even all of my exclusive masterminds and coaching, they'll also have it directly on a separate platform of social media. So I think you should provide for that. However, the teachings are also put in like an exclusive private Facebook group for those who are like, well, I'm on Facebook and this is just easy for me, because that's how they operate their business. I strongly recommend that you do social media, and that daily you are ideally doing, shorts and reels. Ideally, you do something daily in your business if you can. And this is just taking people along your journey. That's what you're talking about. You're just taking people along your journey, right? Just as I'm doing with you. It could be like 3 minutes long, 1 minute long. It's like a little, just story that you do on Instagram, and you're just giving a daily teaching to help others, something that you're working on yourself, and then a call to action at the end. Always give a call to action. You kind of move them along their journey from this point to this point to this point. They keep moving along, and there will be some that just stay along that level, and then they move up very much later on, most likely, and there may be some that just stay, and that is fine. That is a law of compensation. I see that as spiritual income. So you are serving them, but you will receive the income in a different way, right? So like I was doing that for a long time, and then like this year I've had like several painful clients for like 20k, right? So just several. So then you start to build up your wealth capacity, because you're building your serving capacity by serving in all these different ways. All right. But why? First of all, wealth. You have the belief that you can do this. All right. So you have that. You have your regular. I would recommend one monthly or every 6 weeks or every, I would say 6 weeks maximum. 3 day, 5 day, however many day you want, doesn't really matter. But something which is slightly extended, longer. Okay, you can make it paid or it can be free, whatever works for you. But I would suggest if you're kind of more starting out, like you haven't had your first, say, like 5 clients yet, which is fine, then I would say make it for free. But if you have had clients, then you can make some of them paid events. Like a lot of my masterclasses last year were initially free for the first week, and then it all became paid masterclasses. Okay, they were all now, and then after that, everything was just a paid masterclass, right, from last year. Everything was a paid masterclass. But then now I have these. I also have these webinars as well. All right. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I wanted to mention. Just give me a moment. Okay. So do let me know if there's any other questions. Oh, sorry. I've got some here. Interesting. Yes, thank you. Glad you find it interesting. Just read the comments. Okay. So Jinging, thank you so much for joining. Very nice meeting you. Lovely to meet you too. Lovely to lots of useful information. Sorry I have to leave now for another meeting. No problem at all. That's why you'll get the replay for this, and it will be on YouTube as well. So that you can all come and join there. And I'm just going to double check our Facebook group to see if there's any other questions in there at all. Perfect. And then finally on YouTube. So great. Thank you for joining, Mr. Uncle. That's a great name. Joining from YouTube. That's super cool. So yeah, thank you for joining. So now, if that's what you've come for the free webinar, then thank you so much. I'm really grateful I'm really grateful that you are watching from Facebook. So let me just put this here. Watching this from Facebook. So welcome from Facebook. This is so empowering. Thank you. Super grateful. I'm so sorry that I don't have your name on here. Thank you. No questions, but missed the first half. Don't worry. The replay will be there in the Facebook group, Wealthy Warrior Leaders. It will also be on my YouTube channel, okay, which is called Dr. Vidya, Leading You from Fear to Freedom, okay. And my YouTube channel is VIDHYA. Okay, we'll do the long shrunk concerning another day. Right, now, if this is where you're stopping off, this is like the Soul Train. So if this is where you're stopping off because you've come here for the free webinar, then I'm so grateful to have served you. Please do let me know your feedback so I can make it, even better, even more value added for next time. But I do try to keep this to, 45 minutes to an hour. But otherwise, I will be now going into other ways that ways in which you can work with me. So if that's not what you're here for, that is fine. You can get off the Soul Train here. But otherwise, please do stay on. And I would love to tell you a little bit more about my most incredible free gift ever, and also how you can start to work with me so you can take this information and go deep with actual actionable steps. So if you have been loving all the masterclasses that I put out over that, you will have a look and you've seen all these masterclasses, all these different banners coming up, and you've been loving watching all of that. Now they're all paid masterclasses starting from $33, and some of them are $300, some of them are even $555. Okay, but you will get all of those masterclasses for free. How does that sound? Like, is it okay if I just completely over deliver here? So when you join the Wealthy Warriors Experience is our level 1 membership. Okay, there's different levels, there's 3 tiers. The first level, which is what I'm going to talk about right here now today, is with our most incredible free gift ever. And this is I'm so excited, I'm trying to cry, is Wealthy Warriors Experience. Now, this is for you if you are you can buy the masterclasses individually, by the way, and if you buy individually, you'll have lifetime access. But if you are more sort of like, I just want to have a bit of a taster, but I want to have access to all of the masterclasses that I put out, then you will have this access to this, okay, Wealthy Warriors Experience. So there's an archive, a library of all the masterclasses, and equally additional masterclasses that will be coming in. You will have access to that as well. Okay, so let me see, awesomeness. Thank you. Well done. Yes, it is. It is awesome. Thank you. So what I want to tell you is this is the offer, right? Because I'm shut down. There's just so many incredible free. So many features that I had to write it down. So you're going to, first of all, when you join the masterclass, when you join the membership, okay, the membership is $97 per month. However, you will get the first month completely for free. All right, 30 days trial. So you're going to have access to all of the masterclasses. Yeah, so you can join. Obviously, don't be one of those people who just joins and then cancels just to get something for free. But if that is the kind of person you are, then that's fine. And that's completely fine. If after that you feel it's not quite for you, you can just cancel. You can cancel at any time. You're not locked into some like, I don't want to be, I've had that experience before. So it's nothing like that. You can cancel any time. Okay. But I want to give you an incredible gift because I obviously want you to stay. I want you to receive the masterclasses that I continue to do very regularly, which are paid. What you have to pay to be in them, but you will get them included in the membership. But for the first whole month, you get it completely for free. Okay. So thank you. Yes, it sounds great. Yes, come and join us, Wealthy Warrior Experience. So you can just DM me, by the way, if you have to hop off, I totally understand, but you can just DM me Experience and then I'll send you the link to come and join because this is a limited time offer, okay? So you can get all the masterclasses. You are going to get an incredible t-shirt which says Wealthy Warrior. I'm still trying to decide if you want to just say Wealthy Warriors or to say Wealthy Warrior Leaders. So let me know what you want your t-shirt to say. But you're going to get that. You're going to get an eco-friendly tote bag, right, for all of your shopping, your grocery. So you're going to have that. And again, let me know if you want to say Wealthy Warriors or Wealthy Warrior Leaders. I quite like Wealthy Warrior Leaders, but it's up to you. You're going to get a physical version of my habits book. Okay, this is all going to get mailed out to you. Okay, a physical version of my habits book. Now, every single month, do you remember I told you that there is free 5-day challenge that I put on? Okay, now in that, you're going to get that completely for free. Now, the challenge is free. However, it's very limited spots because I like to really go deep and go intimate like this and answer everybody's questions. So your spot will already be there. Okay, so limited spots, but you will already be enrolled into that. Leaders, you like leaders. Okay, it's been decided by you, by the people have spoken. So Wealthy Warrior Leaders, it is done. So you're going to get a t-shirt with Wealthy Warrior Leaders, right? The embodiment of that, Wealthy Warrior Leaders. And then you're also going to get the tote bag. Okay, Wealthy Warrior Leaders. So you can show everyone I'm a Wealthy Warrior Leaders. I'm in a badass group. Now, you're also going to get access to, I do this summit, a seasonal summit. So the next two summits, which is winter, the winter summit is going to be December 4th to December the 6th. Now, this is a paid event, okay, paid event where all the top global leaders, remember I told you this is our movement is in over 58 countries and we've had more than 133 clients. So the top global leaders will be coming to the summit. Okay, we have interviews as well, we have teachings, it's over 3 days, it's virtual, which is good because it means that you can all join in. There will be replay as well. So you will get 2 tickets. So you're going to get this is the paid event, but when you come join our membership group, you're going to have number one, the free ticket, okay, to the winter summit, which is December 4th to 6th. Then you're going to also have a ticket to our spring summit, which is going to be March, April time. So we haven't decided exactly on the dates yet. It's basically going to be, I time everything according to my kids' half-term break and all of that. So I can ensure I'm definitely with you and I'm definitely with them. And I'm also have time for myself, of course. So, but you're going to get 2 free tickets. Now in this, there is a special VIP section. Okay, and that is the ticket you're going to get. You're going to get VIP, not only tickets to the event, but you're also going to get VIP access. Now, VIP access means that you get to be in a special group Voxer, which is only for VIP members. Okay, so group Voxer is an app, a bit like WhatsApp, but it's something which I normally only do for my 10K coaching clients, certification clients. So they're people who are in my program becoming coaches, certified coaches, Wealthy Warrior coaches, and people who are in my 25K mastermind. So normally Vox is only reserved for them. And it's only because that's obviously I'm doing that often, talking to you in between patients, so I've dedicated time. So my time is obviously not scalable. So that's how I've made it scalable basically. But you will have access to that group Voxer for the winter event and the spring event. And there's also going to be a live Zoom laser coaching and Q&A session, okay, which is normally on day 2 of each of the summits. So you'll also have access to that when you join. And all of this is going to be mailed out to you in a beautiful special box. So you'll have access to that. And the way the membership works is that every single month, so there's not group coaching because that's level 2. If you want to know about level 2, that's called lifestyle, where you get coaching every single week. But in Wealthy Warrior Experience, you will be getting new masterclasses, right? Every single month, you'll have a new masterclass which is dedicated to the members. So it's members only, special masterclass. You'll have all of your questions answered. So you have access to all of that. So this is a great option for those who maybe feel that they don't quite need or at that level where they want to have group coaching every week, but they still want to have fresh classes every single week coming in. And this is all the latest things that I'm doing. I'm going to take you behind the scenes in exactly what I'm doing in my business. This is me. Like I wake up at 4 a.m., sometimes 5 a.m. Most days, and I work on my business. Okay, and I'm going to be showing you exactly what I am working on right now, what the next stage is, what the big plan is. You know, we're going to go into detail. You know, do financial planning. We'd also do a lot of meditation, a lot of deep healing, especially in terms of mental health. So obviously I'm seeing it as a coach, not as a doctor, but this is the way I felt I was able to bring it out to the world. Okay, so you're able to get that, and you're able to have, you know, laser coaching in that way. But really it's more DIY, but you have access to all the masterclasses. This includes my masterclass, which is actually currently $333, but how to become a published author. You're going to get that, okay? How to sell clients pay in full, 5K and more and below, without sales calls, without ads, without a funnel, okay? So it's called 5K Masterclass. You're going to have that. That's not actually even being released yet, but that's already been done. So have that. Awakening high ticket sales. Heal and release, right? Heal and release is my program. You know, we talked about writing it down, but that I did over a deep dive, and with that one is incredible. It's so close to my heart. Heal and Release. So normally only my mastermind members have access to that, but you're going to be getting that. So Heal and Release, you're going to get so many business programs on literally how this week can I start my business, get set up my YouTube channel, set up my podcast, set it all up, how exactly I do that. And I take you step by step. So you're going to have access to just all of this. Wealthy Warrior Leadership Program is like a 5-day program that I did, all about leadership, how I became an award-winning coach. Right? How can you become an award-winning coach? What exactly that I did? Again, step by step. I take you deep into this. So you've got all the masterclasses, okay? Some more is here, leaders. Okay, perfect. So if you want this, put in the comment, experience. Okay, so type in the comments, experience. If you want this offer, you have 30 days completely for free. So it's a membership. It's every single month. You get fresh masterclass every single month. You don't have to pay anything extra except the $97 per month. And for the first 30 days, you will get that completely for free. And in that, you'll have access to this library. Okay. So obviously it's designed so that you stay with us and so I can actually deliver more to you. But you will have, how does that sound? You will have access to this. So I'm super, super, super excited. So yes, you are in. So I'm super excited. So I'm only offering for the first 5 people to have this 30-day free trial. So obviously that's when you actually, enroll. So I'm super excited to have you in. And, after that, obviously the price will be going out from $97 per month as well. But super excited. So thank you so much for being here. The replay is going to be here, okay, for you to watch. But remember, this is about implementation. This is why I designed the membership, so that you can really go all out and take action. But I know what I'm doing this. I'm like, okay, I'm working full time, including night shifts and weekends. I've got young kids. When I'm spending time in my business, I want to know I'm doing the right things. I don't want to just be wasting my time and then miss out on sleep and just all this craziness. Because peak performance it's a double-edged sword, right? You can be one of those people who's like, I'm going to stay up all night. That's great, but you need to sleep. And if you're going to stay up all night, you want to be working on the right things. So that's what I want to help you with. Now, if you want to have group coaching where we meet every single week, that is lifestyle. So do comment down lifestyle. I know I haven't really gone into details there, but really for that is lifestyle. I just thought I'd give a quick brief overview, and that is $297 per month. Again, you get everything in experience, the whole offer, the free 30-day trial, the t-shirt, the books, you get the 2-day virtual events, you get 2-day summit events, you get all of that. But on top of that, you get group coaching every single week, okay, with me. Every single week you get that. And there's a very separate thing, which is actually my certification program. That is $997 per month if you actually want to become a certified Wealthy Warrior coach. And with that, you also have access to a group Voxer. And this is for the whole year. This is year long. Okay, so you have time you don't have to go crazy. You have plenty of time. Okay, but in that you'll then get a certificate. Okay, now we're not going to tie our self-image to a certificate, our self-esteem to a certificate, but I've designed it so that I can teach you and really go deep on. This is the actual business program, okay, to really go deep, and you can use that certificate however you want for your own business, or if you want to become a part of this business too, and help in serving as I want to take and grow and expand and help more and more people. If you want to be part of this movement, come and join us. That's $997 per month. And then we have the exclusive mastermind. Okay, the exclusive mastermind is really for those super committed, high-level leaders, CEOs, bosses, leaders, or you want to be one of those. Okay, and that is $2,500 per month. If that's an exclusive mastermind, and that you get one-to-one coaching with me every single week. So I'm sending you so much love and light. Comment down below experience. I'm going to check afterwards whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. But comment experience, lifestyle, or the exclusive mastermind one is Phoenix, Risen, or certification. So all in all, this webinar, I'm really focusing on experience. That is the offer I've actually been talking about. Any questions, just DM me, okay? If you have any questions, or if you are not sure, just DM me and I can send you information about experience, lifestyle, and then the high ticket offers, which is a certification program. Okay. And then the one-to-one option, which is with an exclusive mastermind. And that one is called the Phoenix Risen. Okay. So that's for top level leaders or if you want to be. Okay. And remember, you don't have to be leader of an organization or your own. This could be more around self-leadership and the journey of self. Okay, the heroes or the heroine's journey, the wealthy warrior's journey. Sending you so much love and light. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have you here. So grateful to serve you this way. I'm off to go and do my clinic now, and I will catch you on November the 6th. So come and join us for the challenge. Okay, so that is on November the 6th. So you can register now. If this has really pumped you up, do the homework. Come and join us and get in there. Register early because the spaces go quickly. November 6th to 10th, that will be the challenge. And the summit, that's a paid event. That is going to be December 4th to 6th. All right, send you so much love and light. DM me any questions. Bye. Thank you.